Because you see, my friends, it's not about conspiracy theories that I love, which I'm a huge fan of conspiracy theories. You guys know that for a fact. But one thing I
Yeah.
noticed, it's not my fault I like conspiracies. Oh, Jesus. There's so many cats in my area, it's insane. However, wait, just out of curiosity, have you guys ever like actually looked at those hot singles in your area ads? Like the ones that always
No.
pop up on your phone?
Big no.
Big no?
I know
Like,
it's a virus.
yeah, I know it's a virus, but sometimes they're like ads to dating sites, and it's like the weirdest shit ever. Like, there's a buddy of mine I know. He decided out of curiosity, like a normal person, like as people do, to check it out, and like DM'd one of the persons that was on that site. And what happened was there's actual real people on those sites, which is the shocking thing that he said. Yeah, I was surprised an actual person responded. I thought it was a bot. And I'm like, for real? He's like, yeah, dude. So what happened is they met up IRL. Like, they literally met up at a Starbucks in a well-lit, populated area, so neither one of them had any suspicion they were going to be murdered, right? Like, I would assume I would get very violently murdered if I agreed to meet someone on one of those websites. Oh no, 2 cats drowned. But it's like, me, I just happen to have bad luck with people like that. Like, how do I know they're not going to put me in the back of a truck and, like, next thing I know, my arms and legs are in a freezer being sold to, like, a fucking medical school for, like, autopsies and shit? Like, that's a legitimate fear I have, okay, when meeting new people. How do I know these ones aren't going to be the ones that chop off my head? Like, there's no way you'll know.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people, like, I understand why a lot of people, if they go on first dates, they never want to go alone. Like, they'll have a friend secretly tag along, you know? Which,
Yeah.
the more you think about it, the more understandable it is. But at the same time, it's like, you know, I'd rather not have to worry about that. But yeah, as I was saying, I got kind of sidetracked. He went to meet up with this person at a Starbucks, and they ended up becoming best friends, and they've been together for like 3 years now.
Oh god, no.
And
Wow.
I'm like, you literally met on like one of those meet and fuck sites. It's like, yeah, but we didn't like do anything till like the 3rd or 4th date. I'm like, but like,
What an honorable man. Jesus Christ.
yeah, I mean, he was like, look, I don't know if you got the HIV, I don't know if you got none of that herpelitis, you know, just let me wait until I know we're secure. It turns out she was like a vet technician. And he's one of my friends, he's a construction worker, but at the same time, it's like, that's just, I was more concerned for him when he told me that's how he met his girlfriend. And I'm just like, dude, like, that's like really romantic. You guys met with the intention of like, oh, Jesus. You guys met with the intention of like aggressive sodomy.
And I can't even get someone to like me for more than a month.
Shit, I can't even get a bitch to text me back. They're like, how'd you get this number?
I haven't had a relationship last longer than 9 months.
Oh, my chest, oh, my fucking abs hurt, dude. Jesus.
Your abs hurt? Oh yeah, because you've been doing the whole training for your thing, right?
Not that, and the tournament was yesterday.
Oh, you got shot in the
Oh, how'd
stomach?
you do?
No, just the ground was very
Very wet.
it was on very old turf,
Oh, like the
and it was wet.
the rubberized ground, right? So it's like soft ground?
Yes,
Oh god. I know exactly what
but
you're
it
talking
was
about.
not soft.
Oh, because yeah, when that stuff gets wet, it's like fucking cement. Like,
Yes.
and it stings to like have like skin to like that contact, you know?
Yeah, but also it was very wet, even though it didn't rain. It rained the day before.
Jesus.
It was really wet, and only one side of the field was very muddy. 'Cause it was turf.
right.
Muddy turf is the worst to play on,
Goodness.
because like your feet get stuck, but also your feet could slip.
Oh yeah, and it would just hurt the whole time.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it would hurt just to be against all that. You know? Because I'm a clumsy person. I fall all the fucking time. But at the same time, it's like, you know, if it's paintballing, you gotta be a part of that dedication to, like, get other people with that, you know?
Yeah, I am. It's because I practice, but also take care of myself after I'm done with it.
Yeah, to get a whole gallon of water, you know? Some Mountain
I don't
Dew.
drink a whole gallon, but
That's
Perhaps.
actually really bad for you.
Yeah, if you drink a whole gallon of water in one sitting, it could really fuck up your kidneys. Ironically enough, even though it's the safest drink to drink.
Look,
yeah.
anything
too
can
mu-
fuck up your kidneys.
Yeah,
man.
too much of any one thing, it was always bad, which I didn't understand that as a child, you know? I think, oh, a lot of a good thing is never bad, or a lot of a bad thing is never good. But
No,
what
it's
I learned,
actually That's a concept of some people's hell, like too much of a good thing. Like imagine being
you know the
force-fed cake for the
Yeah,
rest of your
dude.
life continuously, or
There's
for
a
the rest of
fucking
eternity.
there's a Twilight Zone episode where that guy is like, wait, a thing where I'm dead. This is heaven. I win all the time. No, wait, that's boring. I must be in hell.
Mm.
And I'm just like, damn, dude. If I won consistently, like some people would get off on it. Me, like, let me lose like 1 out of every 10. Like, let me get really high, like up on like the ante and stuff like that. And when I think I'm about to win, then let me lose. And then when I'm devastated, let me win it all back. You know. But
Hey, but like that's why I like Dark Souls, because you have
Oh,
to
yeah.
struggle, and
Dog.
struggle, and
I
struggle.
told you about fucking Jedi Fallen Order. It's straight up Star Wars. It's Dark Souls with a fucking Star Wars skin on it, and I love it to death.
Really?
Yeah, it's straight up. Like the people that made it are the same people that made Sekiro, but they also they also got Star Wars people on it to work on it.
Oh.
So the gameplay, the combat is exactly like Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, mixed in with Dark Souls, but added in with a Star Wars element. So it's like the perfect fucking game for our type of people, which is like people who like a ridiculous challenge, but not something that's completely impossible. Which is
did I ever tell you about
I
that?
just like games that torture me.
hey Trevor. So
Trevor.
Dark Souls.
Did I tell you about Code
Have you
Vein?
heard of RL Craft?
Yes, I've played RL Craft, and after an hour
Yeah,
of that, I
I'm
decided
playing
I
RL
wanted to
Craft
jump
right
off a
now.
roof. But kind of awkward to bring up while we're playing Minecraft, Trev. Because damn it, now I want to go back to RL Craft, but I'm not gonna do it.
Don't leave me.
No, it's in the same game, but it's a mod. Well, it's a series of mod packs that has been condensed into one giant mod pack that makes Minecraft 1,000 times harder in every conceivable way, to the point you can't even farm stuff unless you level up farming. And it's
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I don't like.
like you can't even grow food outside. You have to make a greenhouse. It's insane. Like I've seen
Man.
streamers try to attempt
fuck?
playing it, and they were so frustrated. They just like, oh, I was like, I'm done. Like after an hour, even fucking Shroud was like, I can't do it. I keep getting killed the moment you spawn. Because sometimes random monsters will spawn with you and kill you right away, like dragons and shit, or ghost
What?
spiders, or tentacle demons and shit.
I
And
like
the guy
tentacle
Shavaxi
demons.
that made the mod pack, he's like, oh yeah, I just wanted people to just suffer.
Well, he did it pretty well.
Pretty damn well, if
Evil
I might
son
add.
of a bitch.
But after seeing people play it, I'm like, fuck, now I want to play it, but I know it's gonna be a bad idea.
Yeah.
Because I'm a
I've
very
been playing
angry
a little
person.
bit of it.
Like like a fucking tiny amount, but I'm a very angry person when it comes to video games. Like Connor was there when I was playing Jedi Fallen Order and just screaming in the mic because I kept dying. Because keep in mind, there's a difficulty setting in that game. There's several. The difference between the third one, which is Jedi Master, and Jedi Grandmaster, which is the hardest one, the enemies all have the same health, right? But the difference is in the difficulty levels is the damage you take and the amount of time you have to parry and the aggressiveness of the enemies. The difference between the third tier of difficulty and the fourth tier, which is the final one, is like 80% difference on like the damage you take, the parry time, and like the fucking aggressiveness of the enemies. Like an 80% difference, and I'm not even exaggerating. To the point that playing on the other difficulties, even like the one lower than the ultimate one, like it's like a walk in the park. Like it's literally no challenge. But the Grandmaster, like literally anything in the game can one tap you if you like don't parry properly or if you like miss a fucking dodge. Like the final boss of the game, I was so mad. Like the final boss has an attack that no matter where you are on like the fighting stage, she could grab you and insta kill you right there, and you can't like reflect it back. You can only dodge it. You can't like parry it at all. I was so mad, dude.
Huh?
That's how she was beating me so many fucking like
Oh yeah, I remember
yeah,
that shit.
I was
funny.
literally like, I was like, Connor, are you seeing this? Like, I can't even dodge. I can't block. Like, I attack her while she's doing it, but she literally just is like unaffected by any damage. She walks right
What?
through my attack, grabs me up, and drains my life force like with her fucking hand, and it just boom, instant death, and like the fight starts all over again. And I'm like, it took a while to get her just to that low of health. Like, just bringing it up like hurts my feelings, dude. Like, don't get me wrong, very satisfying experience. I'm not gonna spoil it for you, Severin, but something happens at the end of the game that I guarantee you're gonna jump up and scream like, holy shit, because that's what I did.
I'm gonna have to
Because-
get this game, dude.
Because
Oh,
you know me, for a long time, I have been a lifelong Star Wars nerd. And
I know.
yeah,
I know.
you know of all people, you met me when I was
you could
in
talk
my.
for hours and shit.
You met me when I was in my really Star Wars phase, like in college, and it was. Connor, if you think I'm a nerd now, you should have seen me back then.
What's up?
Like it was bad.
Fuck up.
Did I fuck up?
It's not bad being a nerd, Carlos. What
No,
do you
but I'm
mean?
talking like to the point that every time someone brought up Star Wars, they would literally random people at our school would come up to me and ask me about Star Wars shit, and I would take an hour to answer them. It
I
was
like
great.
Star Wars.
I do too. I love
I
it.
love
I
Star
can't wait for the
Wars.
new movie to come out.
The new movie, I'm going in looking with like low expectations just because of how bad Last Jedi was. Don't get me wrong, Last Jedi is a great movie by itself. However, for a Star Wars movie, it was really shitty. But in general, it's a good film, just not a good Star Wars film.
There's
And a lot of
just
people like to forget
parts
that.
of it that were
Ridiculous.
yeah. There's too many subplots going on in that movie.
The one thing that pissed me off the most was the casino. Like the 30 minutes of the runtime they were in the casino when they had like yeah, like
they're like fuck capitalism. Am I right? Dab.
they're like oh shit, like we have very limited time to fucking stop our resistance leaders from being brutally murdered by her son and like an entire fortress and like arm or regiment of first order troops, and we have to stop their hyperspace tracking. Let's take an entire hour to go to a space casino, find a space hacker who can hack it, and then who suspiciously looks like James Bond but in space. And
But
then
in
just,
space.
And then find the wrong one.
And then not only that, before they can even talk to him, they get arrested, they get locked in a prison cell, and just so happens, coincidentally enough, the guy they get in prison next to also happens to be an expert code hacker that just so happens to be able to do it as good as the other guy they were talking about. He's like, wait, instead of getting the perfect one, let's get this random criminal we have no knowledge of whatsoever. And then guess what? Boom, he betrays them. Like, wow, big surprise. They're like, oh, I'll betray these guys for a full pardon. They're like, you know what? How about you get that? So they fucking give him a full pardon, give him a ship, and give him literally a trunk load of full of fucking credits. And then like he just like betrays them, and they almost lose because of him, right? And it's
Yeah.
like
I was really hoping to watch Ruth get her head chopped off.
I kind of was too. She's the most Mary Sue character I've ever seen in a Star Wars
She's
film.
the most fucking annoying character I've ever seen. She's worse than Jar Jar.
I wouldn't say worse than Jar Jar, but I won't say as bad either. Because here's my opinion on Rey. Like, they keep confirming and also denying at the same time she's a Skywalker. But at the same time, it's like... What pissed me off most is that they scrapped the Expanded Universe, but they tried to keep some elements of it from the Expanded Universe, like the books of Star Wars that came out in like the early 2000s and like the late 90s that were actually really good, that they were supposed to be episodes 7, 8, and 9 were based off of. But what happened is when you wait 35 years between making sequels, the actors, well, they get old.
Can I interrupt you
Yeah.
for a minute? I know you're talking about your pride and joy, your love of your life, but
Right.
I need to go.
Oh, sad face.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna go play some pool. Bars open finally.
Nice.
All right, see ya, boyos.
Sadness.
See,
Sadness.
I'm fucked. Sad.
I'm sorry, boys.
Yeah, it's
See ya.
okay, but we'll talk to you when we get a chance.
It was good playing
Yeah.
with you for a
Yeah.
little bit.
I did like the Supremacy.
Yeah, the First Order was pretty good.
The First Order has awesome stuff. They have awesome troops.
Yeah.
But
Awesome
but it's not written right.
No,
Tactics.
yeah, I agree with
It's not
that.
written right.
Like, they have amazing character design, but I feel like the writing, like Connor said, is like just really poor.
No,
But-
it's not that it's poor. It's not set right.
Yeah.
All the
'Cause-
starship names were off.
Yeah.
Whose character's son was who was off.
Yeah, because in the books, Ben Solo, or in the movie, it's Ben Solo. In the books, Ben Skywalker, son of Luke Skywalker and Mara Jade Skywalker.
Yeah.
In the books, Han and Leia's kids were Anakin, Jason, and Jaina Solo. Jason Solo fell to the dark side by Darth Vader's secret apprentice Lumara and became Darth Caedus, who then was fighting Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker let him live. Then he fought his sister Jaina, who finally killed him, and then destroyed the true Sith of the galaxy, then freeing the galaxy of the Sith for a while. And what was infuriating is not only did they scrap Luke's son, they scrapped Han and Leia's 3 other children and just combined the 2 of them into Ben Solo, which was like a middle finger to all the fans.
I mean,
And
I'm not actually too upset about that. I'm okay if they deviate from the books.
Yeah, just
But-
don't scrap one character and give the same name to someone else who's the opposite person's son, you know?
Yeah, that's fair.
That's what
Okay,
made me mad.
people
I
that
could forgive
know-
everything else. I could forgive everything else if they made Ben Luke's son instead of Han's son. Because Ben Skywalker would sound cooler than Ben Solo, let's be honest.
Yeah. They need to do a retcon comic just
Yeah.
to clear up the fucking
Mess.
the Y-wing
yeah.
issue. That requires a retcon in itself of, hey, Nani the fuck is the Y-wings?
Yeah. Like, the only one you see is Luke's Y-Wing that was crashed on the planet that he was on, but he left it in the ocean because he...
That's an X-wing.
Oh, yeah, X-Wing. Yeah, that's... Oh, God, yeah, I keep forgetting.
They had X-wings. Where's the Y-wings? The Y-wings were the tactical bombers.
Oh, yeah, the ones, like... They had those in Rogue One, didn't they?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and then they got the whatever fuckery those big things were
Yeah.
that seemed to be made of actual cardboard.
Oh, I know, like the bombers they tried using in episode 8 were just like the wackiest shit ever. It's like, oh, let's have them like tube shaped and let's drop them all cylindrically. Like that sounds really smart.
I didn't mind that because there is like people have presented ideas of why that would be possible.
Yeah.
I have no objection to that, and I get they're trying to go for the World War II bomber theme.
Yeah, I know, but
Fine.
fucking boomers. But anyway,
It's like that rate. The only reason the Resistance survived was because they did that raid.
yeah.
Like, what? Why was he demoted for that? First of all, second of all, why didn't anybody say, "Hey, let's contact the bomber pilots instead of the guy who's saying fuck y'all"?
Yeah. Cuz didn't he like legitimately save the day? Like Poe
Yeah,
Dameron,
he-
right?
Yeah, Poe was the only one who did anything remotely tactical in that whole movie,
Oh, I know.
which was, let's take out the thing that can shoot us down from like literally a light year away.
It's like, yeah, let's do
destroy that.
Here's the thing that I like that Disney just confirmed, though. Like, apparently Starkiller Base is the planet Ilum that the Jedi used to get their kyber crystals from. In Jedi Fallen Order, the game, like, you go to that planet, like, in the middle of the game, or near the end of the game, and when you beat the game and you go back, you see the Empire turning it into Starkiller Base. Like, they've already carved up half the planet, like, where you see all the machinery and everything. Like,
Yeah.
that part's already been converted to Starkiller Base, and then they're like, oh, it's not Starkiller Base, but, like, last Sunday, or this Sunday, oh yeah, by the way, it is Starkiller Base. I'm like, then why would you tell people it's not when it clearly is?
Because they realized they had an opportunity or something. I don't know.
Yeah, they realized I had an opportunity, but then it kind of gives away the fact that, oh yeah, your character's the last Jedi to ever make a lightsaber on planet Ilum, so like lightsabers are going to be very limited from now on in the future of the entire series. Because there's
It's
other
gonna be
ways
interesting.
to get kyber crystals, but the problem is what they scrapped was synthetic kyber crystals that the Sith would use. Because now they're like, oh, in Disney's new canon,
It's
all...
a packed, kyber crystal or a bleeding kyber crystal.
Yeah, now they have to bleed kyber crystals to turn them red instead of just synthetically creating them like it was always in the lore.
Yeah.
Which is like, that kind of...
Well, no, there was both. There was instances of both. Before.
Yeah. Because I like the idea of bleeding a kyber crystal. That whole thing that they showed with Darth Vader turning an entire planet nearly destructive by bleeding his was very cool. I like that concept.
Yeah.
I'm glad they introduced it. What I don't like is that they scrapped the synthetic crystals that the Sith had always used when Palpatine retconned it. He's like, oh no, every true Sith Lord bleeds the kyber crystal they had when they were once a Jedi. I'm like, that's kind of fucking wacky.
Fucking
But-
whack.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't mind that too much. I just think it's you can get kyber crystals elsewhere.
Yeah, there's other planets you can get them, but they were all controlled by the Jedi. But now that the Jedi are gone, even Luke's New Order, which one thing that got me, the main reason I didn't like Episode 8, you did not see the Knights of Ren whatsoever.
Yeah.
Even though the promotional material, they showed them like fucking crazy.
I hope they show up in this one. I'm not.
They've
thinking-
confirmed they're going to. They've also brought Palpatine back, which I'm like, if they're using his powers from the extended universe, then yeah, he can come back like crazy, like insanely different times of amounts. But they kind of scrapped all of his overpowered abilities that he had in the books, because they're like, oh, if we use anything from this type of source material, we have to credit the writers who gave them that power, which means Disney has to pay different people, so they're not going to do it.
Yeah.
Which is the main reason they
mean-
scrapped all the books. That means they would have to pay the likeness to the people who wrote those stories, not just.
That being said, I don't think they can have Emperor Palpatine using
Essence
Force
transfer.
Storm.
Yeah, Force Storm would be the
In
one thing
essence,
I would love to see in film. I could forgive all the shittiness of the new trilogy. Like, I loved Episode 7 and Rogue One, Episode 8 and middle tier, but if Episode 9 has Palpatine using Force Storm to destroy an entire fleet of starfighters, I will forgive everything they do. Just perfectly animated, I'll be fine.
Worse.
Yeah. What I can credit, I don't like the new movies, but what
Yeah.
I can credit them with
It's the CGI.
their sound design
Oh, yes.
and their visuals
The
are.
sound and visuals are fucking
astounding.
amazing. The
Like,
lightsaber
the
battles, I will give them
frames.
this one. In Episode 7, the lightsaber battle was decent. I like when Finn had the lightsaber. That was pretty cool. Because a non-forced user using a lightsaber is always fun to see. But
I was kind of hoping Finn got his head chopped off too.
I was hoping Finn would be like a force user. That's what they were kind of leading you up to see, and out of nowhere Rey shows up being as powerful enough to overturn Kylo Ren, a lifetime of training dark side and light side user in like 5 minutes, realizing she has the force. Like, that's kind of a Mary Sue situation. That's exactly what it is.
That sounds like racism.
In space.
I'm
Like-
joking.
Oh,
They
oh
took
yeah.
They took the role of a
Of-
a black actor and were like, actually white girl.
Yeah, they're like, oh, you know what? He's like, wait, I'm gonna be a Jedi, right? He's like, no, it's gonna be some random girl from a desert planet. He's like, so Tatooine? He's like, no, it's not Tatooine, but
It's a shithole.
she's a scrapper who lives inside of an abandoned ship after a battle happened there. He's like, so Tatooine, right? He's like, no, it's not Tatooine. It's Jakku.
Fuck Tatooine.
He's like, I'm a what? No, like, no, Jakku. The planet of the name is Jakku.
Oh no.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, you got the soundboard finally.
yeah, I got it working.
Nice. I don't know. I
dude.
just. I can't get behind the movie. It's.
I don't know. I'm
Visually,
going
it
in
was good.
with my glass half full, and my expectations are midway through. I'm like, I'm expecting it visually to be amazing, but story-wise, I expect it to be not that good. Just give a legitimate reason as to why Palpatine came back, and I'll be happy. Pretty much.
I've gone out of my way to not watch spoilers and stuff like that. I obviously I know about the stuff you said, but I've been
Yeah.
like avoiding it as much as I can.
Yeah, I'm going
because
off what I
wanna
see in the
go with
promotional
no
material.
opinions.
Yeah.
I want to go
'Cause
in with no opinions on it.
I want to go in and actually enjoy it, because I'm happy I didn't see Last Jedi in theaters, because if I did, I would have been very frustrated. But I'm happy I saw it, like, because it was like $10 on PlayStation like store when it came out, like, later that year.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, shit, $10, that's not bad. But I'm glad I didn't pay like $30 in a movie theater to see it.
My theater, the one I was in, it was really interesting. It was a lot more